Greetings, salutations, good day and highs, guys and gals, and welcome, one and all, to the 2025 Indy 500 special. That's right, today is finally here once again. It's the 5th edition of the greatest spectacle in VTuber racing. 40 independent VTubers racing over 50 laps on the Indianapolis Motor Speedway Oval in hopes of winning fame, glory, maybe a $5 super chat, who knows, depending upon how my wallet is. And we also have the Indy Grand Prix today on the road course just beforehand. Yep, the VTubers are back home again in Indiana. 2 races at Indianapolis Motor Speedway, first on the road course and then on the oval for the Indy 500. Also a very happy Mother's Day to everyone who celebrates its Mother's Day today as well. A special shout out goes up to Pina Penguin, who just returned after a long hiatus. Yes, she's now a mother, so a special shout out to her as well. Congrats on her first child. That's worthy of this one. Anyway, before we begin, let's have a look at the points as they stand. First, the oval classification after round 4 of IndieCar's 16th series. Nimi Nightmare leading with 77 points in that classification, counting only oval races. Olivia Monroe, 72. Annie, who's sadly out of the series, announced a few days ago. Said a goodbye for now tweet and putting her header indefinite hiatus, no reason given. 71, we're all gonna miss Annie. Hopefully she'll be back pretty soon. Limu 58, and reigning Indy 500 winner Amia Aranya with 50. Golden Street classification, Ida Pochi winner at Barber 106, Limu 100. Doki Bird, excuse me. I have the that's O.O. That's you know her famous surprise look on her face. You should be able to picture that in your head. 87 points. Catania 45 and Nene Amano 44. And quickly going over the points as they stand overall. Limu 158. Ida Pochi and Olivia Monroe each with 110, but Pochi has a race win, so she controls the tiebreaker. Doki Bird 99, Catania 86, and quite a few names that's sadly won't compete for the rest of the series. Yeah, Annie being one of them. And I'll get the bottom half of the standings. Vividly Vivi and Rayu Grigri also stepping out, because they recently joined an agency. I found that the hard way after the I don't know what stream that was, but yeah. Anyway, Elias Stellaria will only compete in the 500. That's why I added her name there. And, yeah. Joining me in commentary are two names that you maybe feel familiar with right now. Fresh off of 3 big races earlier in the day, we have Adak, and also joining in commentary is Chrono. Hello, you two.
What a great spectacle here in virtual Indianapolis. Of course, we're talking about the greatest spectacle in VTuber racing, but even more so in Indy VTuber racing. Well, we will be seeing first the Indy Lights cars take to the Grand Prix circuit, the road course of the Roval in the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, and after that we'll be doing the big dance in Indianapolis. So anyway, we are gonna be here for what should be an amazing race coming in here. Of course, I am still pretty tired, but I'm still ready to give out as much energy as I can. We'll see how we go from here. But anyways, well, it's a great day in CrossFit.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Alright, first round for today, it's round 5 of the 16 series. It's the Indy Grand Prix. Yeah, I know it says Indy with a Y over there, but here it's the Indy with an IE Grand Prix. On the same course, of course, 17 laps on this 2.439 mile, 3.925 kilometer, 14 turn road course layout of Indianapolis Motor Speedway. And get this, for some strange reason, we're gonna be racing clockwise.
Oh,
Yeah.
wait.
Reverse.
Yeah,
In the Indy Grand Prix or in the oval?
in the Indy Grand Prix.
Oh well, that's actually pretty standard. Don't they always race clockwise in the road course layout?
Yeah, road course layouts, as you'll see in this track preview.
I see. So anyways, we are going to be taking a look at the track preview here. Coming into the start-finish line, you're going reverse. Coming into the reverse pit lane entry, the first two corners break at around maybe the 100-meter board as you approach the first two corners. As you can see here, taking easy into turn 1 and 2, bit slippery there into turn 3. In this part, you need to possibly work out your braking line as well as you can. Or run at the exit of turn 4 and then into the left-right chicane. You might want to straight line that one to carry as much speed as possible. And then here's an overtaking opportunity that you might want to look out for. And then you're coming down into turn 7. Right at the excess road, that will be your reference point for this very slow corner. Flip and slide for a good measure. Into this S section, turn 8 and turn 9. Knowing if it comes too hard or you'll spin. Turn 10, you might want to straighten up the car a bit more. And then into turn 11 and then turn 12. And then you go flat out until you reach into the final chicane. Right at 100-meter board for a very slow run into turn 13 and 14, all that stuff. But interesting why you want to hang on to 13, why you might want to go for a second or turn in. For the final corner, it's deceptively tight. You may think that you can go flat out, but sometimes you might need to essentially just go lift a bit to stay on the track. But that should be a lap in the Indy Grand Prix circuit. Can't wait to see how this race goes.
Yeah. Anyway, all 45 members in this month's IndyCar roster are eligible to compete. Even the ovals only drivers, interestingly enough. Yes, yeah, because they gotta have some experience in road course racing, because you never know when they'll make the push to full-time in a later series.
So it is going to be an interesting thing in prospect. So anyways, Chrono, we haven't really heard your thoughts. Chrono.
Yeah.
Yoo-hoo, Chrono. As I load.
Hello.
We can still kind of hear you, but your voice is a bit too low.
Hello.
Yes, we hear you.
Hello.
Okay, I don't think Chrono can hear us. Earth to
No, I
Chrono.
can hear you.
Yeah,
I can
but
hear you.
your voice is a bit low.
How do I do this?
Actually, it's better.
Yeah.
Okay, it's better. It's better. It's better.
How about now?
Okay, better.
Yeah, I had to volume. It exists. So anyway, weren't we discussing about how we should trim down all VTRP series to annually?
Yeah, I'm already having to reduce IndyCar to biannual. Yeah, from the previous 4 series a year thing. Yeah, longer series. Did I make a mistake here? No, it looks fine. Yeah, longer series for IndyCar, but yeah, from 12 races a series to 15, but it's now a biannual series, much like a few other series. Anyway, Sarway, who won the Indy Grand Prix last year, did not qualify for this year's edition.
Also, championship leader, and also the championship leader, Nimi Nightmare, also falling out alongside Fallen Shadow out of the 5 under the 30 car grid. That's also a massive shock from the championship leader. So now the championship has now become wide open. Very great.
Yeah, Limu barely making it into the field, actually. Nimi didn't make it in.
Who was last year? Saddleway, right?
Yeah, Sarway won last year's Indy GP,
Also
but
barely
but
not getting in.
yeah, but this year she doesn't make it. That's a bit of a shock. Anyway, let's
Previous race winner's curse.
previous
let's
winner's
see the-
curse. For previous race winner's curse. A year in the making.
Ouch. So anyways, well, let's congratulate Silver Veil on her pole position. Beats Akuma Numine by 4/100ths of a second, ahead of Min Phantom in third, Just Toiki fourth. Now looking at row 3, it's Bao and Ren Penrose on row 3, Cottontail VA and Shy Lily make up row 4. 9th and 10th, Kiki Pion Pion and Chibidoki. Watagashi Uno makes up 11th, and Fangu currently in 12th place. As we're about to scroll down into the rest of the field, 13th place is Sku-chan and Hina Bobina. In 13th and 14th, row 8, Dokibur and Umi Kyoku. Rape and Juniper Actias in 17th and 18th. Hore Tenten and Kawasaki Sui make up the 10th row. Captain Hana and Nirosama make up 21st and 22nd. Ami Aranya and Yuna Unagi 23rd and 24th. Olivia Monroe in 25th, as we're about to take it to the final 4 cars of the grid. Nene Amano and Shigure Ui. Fun fact about Shigure Ui, she was the first car out of the 500, but because Annie decided that she's going to go on hiatus, Shigure Ui was essentially brought back into the 500 by default using the new Ida livery. Let's see how she fares. Lena Lazar in 28th with Nyanya Banyanya in 29th, and Lainmu, the last car to make the cut.
Yeah, we're using special liveries here, as we're seeing the Force Axolotl lineup in the chat. Let's see how the members do. Yeah, special new idol liveries for Nana and Ui, and
Me Limu.
yeah, and also that's Evil Nero under the wheel here. And who else? Where is Mia Aranya? Right here, has her own special livery, and Limu. Limu. Oh yeah, Limu. Yeah, that's her.
LimeWire.
LimeWire. What kind of interesting nickname is that? Anyway, let's.
No, I'm just joking. I'm just joking.
Okay.
Because lime.
17
Might have
laps.
been back in the day.
Yeah, 17 laps here, and let's for the Indy Grand Prix, and let's get right into the action.
Let's hit the race button, Dag, as we're about to get this race underway. We expect a lot of slippy and slidey at the start. Dag!
Yes! Test races here and on the road course and on the oval. There's the occasional instance of the TV ticker not showing up, and it's a non-zero chance that the TV ticker may also appear broken in the real races. Yeah, we're gonna try to follow along with how far we've gone through the races.
We're gonna use our eyes more in this one.
Yeah. Anyway, your Firestone, Fast 6, Silver Veil, Numi, Minto, Minky, or whatever you want to call her, Yaso Toiki, Bao, Rin Penrose. As the safety car will soon be coming up, and we'll be set to begin here. The second most prestigious VTuber IndyCar race. First after the 500. Who will win this year? Oh god, the green flag is already waved, and we are set to go.
We are green in Indy GP.
Cue broken TV ticker.
Oh yeah,
no, it's working.
With Silver Veil. Okay, Silver Veil and Min Phantom actually having a very great launch off the start. Min Phantom now going down the inside. She's gonna spook everyone's way into the race lead. And it is getting a bit choppy on my end, but we saw front wings flying off the track at turn 2.
Mint passes Silver Veil as we go into the infield.
There was a violet front wing and another one that flew off.
Yeah, several drivers lost front wings there, yeah.
I wonder who's that? And Nimune touches grass.
Here comes the slippy, slidey part of the
There's
track.
more body parts.
Yeah, we saw
Lots.
cars.
I think that's
Parts flying off.
Amiya's.
Lots of front wings popping off. Bow being one of them.
Gone.
She's gonna possibly be beached and she's gonna try to swing her way back into contention. That's been Phantom, by the way, currently leading this race over the rest of the field. Bao will have to retreat back into the pits. Ben Phantom now under pressure from Silvervale as they now come into lap 2 of this race. Silvervale with a very great exit. She might take a move down the inside. We'll see how it goes as they approach turn 1.
Mint, Silvervale, and Numi. Your top 3 after 1 of 17 here. Silvervale on turn 1.
But Mint anticipates her, but it wasn't enough, and Silvervale retakes the lead.
22 still out on track. 22 still out on the track, as we're seeing several in pit lane.
Oh, I was right. Lane a laser.
Silvervale back up in front.
Yep, with a great move against Ben Phantom as they approach the first few corners. Meanwhile, Lumine is going to try to stake her claim into second place. Meanwhile, as the field continues to go ahead, there's a side-by-side battle, though. I noticed in further back, I believe that was Chibidoki and Umikyoku and Watagashi Uno. Ooh.
Uno passes by the Indy
fellow Honda
Indy Lights winner.
Ooh.
And
So,
Vale about to start lap 3.
Yeah, getting a live dashboard scene and error on my end, but it's stream is still
And
going. Hopefully, let's see how it is with the stream here.
And Mint re-challenging again, and this time Numi's also in on the picture.
If it looks choppy, then I apologize. Yeah, we already lost 3 drivers. That's Nero, Rin, and Great. 3 drivers already out.
Well, that's a shame because speaking of which, Silvervale still under pressure, I think, from Aqua Lumine, who is now charging in second place. Speaking of which, Westman Phantom down in 4th place. Looks like everyone has essentially found ghost-busting equipment to beat Min Phantom, as she is currently being vanquished.
Yeah,
Plus the fact that Numi in particular is a demon herself.
Ooh. How here do you think Silvervale is?
No comment.
Well,
Probably neutral. TBH. 4, I think this is. Carpenter slithering up to Numi.
And
Slithering, and she passes through.
Improves to P2.
And right now, Silvervale's currently still controlling this lead at the moment, but you see Min Phantom already making moves to stay back into 3rd, kicking Pion-Pioning her way into 5th place. With that move around the chicane, around the outside too, into turn 5. That's pretty bold.
Cotton touching grass. Has to watch out for Mint this time.
Luckily, the sidewall on the right doesn't seem solid, so less risk of incident going on.
I want to ask Deck, is this the same Indy GP as the one from F1?
No, it's a slightly different layout.
Yeah, I mean you can tell by the final. You can tell by the final corner, and there is no infield section after turn 4. If you look into the layout right now, and you can also see the blue-colored curbs, you can tell that this is a current version of the Indy road course. If it's F1, then the final corner would have been reverse Indy turn 1. That will be the main giveaway.
Reverse into turn 1.
Yeah.
So other than the clockwise clockwise, anti-clockwise thing, it's pretty much the same. As Shy Lily passes Pion Pion.
Ooh, ako minute. Makes a mistake coming into turn 7. And now Shy Lily has made use of that mistake to get herself into a position.
Anyway, speaking of the F1 layout, the very first edition of the Indy Grand Prix did take place on the F1 layout, which was won by Shiguri Ui right here. And she won the 2021 and 2022 editions of the race. The 2022 edition taking place on the IndieCar, real-life Indy GP layout, which we're still using nowadays. Oh no!
And
Uh-oh!
Oh, that is Hore Tencent! I believe she ran to the back of Shiguri Ui there. Even none of us have noticed that, but it's now cost Tencent and Shiguri Ui the race.
As you can see on that replay, that is brutal.
Absolutely slammed. Feels like Shiguri Ui feels like a bit hard. She's a bit hard done by, as she now has a struggle for grip. Obviously, if you lose your rear wing, it's gonna be a very difficult car to control. You have all the front grip in the world, but if you have no rear grip, they're essentially becoming a slippy, slidey car.
Oh, the
learning the hard way.
the two-time Indy GP winner, not doing so hot, and she's supposed to be the queen of IndyCar road course racing. That was an unnecessary move by Tenten.
Yep, she pretty much RKO'd Ui there.
You mentioned it. Anyways, back onto the situation here. Shiguri Ui is going to spend a lot of time in the pits trying to think about what has actually happened. She has parked onto the side of the pit lane, hopefully having her car serviced. She is going to go down the lap down alongside Hore Tenten. There's more contact! I saw more contact!
Shimmy Donkey!
Replay now, Jack, replay now!
Shimmy Donkey.
And I got involved in this thing. Yep, she definitely got involved. And
Got slammed by Kiki Pyongyang as they approach turn 1. Looks like it's another misjudgment into the corner. And there's another incident. I think this is someone who lost a front wing, and we just don't know who. I think that is Fangu.
Fangu.
The caveman girl. Cave woman.
Haven't heard much from her, and yeah, she is struggling here. A lot of front wing losses. Another 3 a.m. member without a front wing.
3 a.m. being very much not the time to be, but in this race is not coming on to them, and
the nose cone also sheared off of Kiki's car.
that just and almost losing the rear end as well as she braked onto the grass. That just shows you how big the contact was, and I would expect some suspension damage to come along with it as well. The race is taking no prisoners here. Absolutely. Will it happen to the leaders? We will have to wait and see.
Is that Cottontail on the lead now?
Yeah, she's in the lead.
Shy Lily behind her.
Yeah.
So while all that kerfuffle was going down, Cottontail bit the neck of whoever was leading there.
Happy Womp Womps in the chat seeing Shy Lily currently P2.
Yep, she's currently gonna womp her way into the race lead, but we'll see how it goes from here, as she's gonna go for an optimistic move around the inside against Cottontail. You don't see that every day. But will she able to hang on?
Yes!
And the answer is yes! Holy smokes!
Very nice move by the adorable Orca.
Not that Orca, but we get the point. But Shy Lily just needs to hang on to this lead. We already have, I believe, 3 leaders in this race. There was Cottontail, there was Silverveil. Now it is the Orca called Shy Lily. But will she able to rom her way to a win with 9 laps to go? We still have to wait and see.
And Silverveil's rejoining the picture along with Scoo-chan.
Oh no, Minto.
has no front wing.
Ouch. Min Phantom not having a ghastly day for her.
Or Numi for
Getting
that
exercised.
Dangerous touching of grass right there by Numi.
But that didn't stop her from making a pass on to Umi Kyoku. What is going on here? Usually if you don't have front wings, you will be struggling for grip. But you saw Umi Kyoku got passed by someone with no front wing effortlessly. And I was like, what's going on here?
Probably trying to
Maybe.
mitigate some damage for when she eventually goes back into pit lane to restore her front wing.
As Shy Lily continues to defends as the three leaders try to fight back. Shy Lily gonna go around. Oh, Ryder. Silvervale running outside against Contail, but Hose goes over the curbs. Has to lose out.
Silvervale probably may have
Sneakery.
Silvervale may have dropped into pit lane. That's why she is not in the lead lap. 24th as it stands for the pole sitter for this race.
Uchan.
I got wrong foot earlier.
Ooh. Anyway,
Still,
well over halfway through this race, Cottontail takes over. Back into the lead she goes.
The lead.
Well over halfway into the race, so the race will be official. Lead drivers tried to deal with, excuse me, the lapped car of Silvervale.
I wonder what happened. She probably collected debris from an incident. Maybe the Pion one?
Whoop, watch out. The other competitors are getting ready to go into the back of Cottontail and Silvervale, both on different laps, by the way. As
Speaking of Kiki,
Kiki's back onto the race. However, she is way down. If you look at the drivers,
that's an interesting glitch.
I've seen that in the previous Indy Lights mod we used before switching to a different one. Floating front wing without a nose cone. Ollie just getting out. Dookie in pit lane.
wishing I thought you get it, Ui.
Ui?
And my
Doing
friend won't
pretty
like
okay
seeing
right now,
it.
but she is down in 26 cars in the running. I believe it is 5 cars a lap down, at least a lap down. Watch out for Shy Lily, almost going to the back of Cottontail, and tries to stay around the outside, 3 wide.
Oh! Right around that turn, 10-10, who's 1 down, just trying to get back into the lead lap.
And speaking of which, Shy Lily making her move for the race lead at the same place as she did a few laps ago. Shy Lily back on top.
Lead drivers contending with each other. Close battles going on here. Captain Hannah trying to move up to second. Cottontail says, nah.
Right now we are taking a look here. Shy Lily continues to control this race, but this time the gap is now at 1.5 seconds. So right now she needs to continue walking her way into this win. Womps in the chat, please. Womps in the chat. Give Shy Lily the support she needs to bring this win before Captain Hannah and Cottontail catch back up.
Cottontail's poisonous.
When we tried to prove she belongs with the top drivers here, fresh off of her Indianapolis Championship, tried to do pretty well in her rookie season in the top division. Looking forward to racing in the 500 later on. First, currently in the top 5 in the Grand Prix.
Kyoku, meanwhile, trying to chase Bobina, Hina Bobina that is. And speaking of the rest of the field, I just wanted to point out the remaining amount of cars currently in the lead lap. I would like to report that there are only 21 cars still on the lead lap, which goes as far as 21st.
Okay, that's
And
22
with
actually.
then Hori 1010. Yeah,
That's
Hori
still a good
1010 also still
number.
on the lead lap
Of
with a
course,
few
still
cars
in the
already a
lead.
few laps down, featuring Kiki Pyongyang, Olivia Monroe, Shigure Ui, and Doki Bird, who are already Shigure Ui and Doki Bird, who are currently still in this race. We have a few casualties already in this race, but we'll talk about them later as we have 5 laps of racing here in the Indy circuit to go, and by that I mean the Grand Prix circuit, as you can see here.
Right, Lily trying to hold on to her big lead here. Going around this challenging turn again. Most everyone having some good feel. Just the tires warmed up enough and gone past that turn with no issue.
Ooh, as you can see here, let me see. Hori
Cottontail
1010
mounting a challenge once more.
Cottontail against Shiley. Yeah, the gaps are closed out. Well, will there be a good exit though from Cottontail to try to get close to Shiley?
Our spicy voice pack VTuber. Onto the
Very
start
close
lane
behind.
for
Here comes
lap
turn
13,
1.
I believe it is.
Cottontail trying to make a move on Shy Lily, not close enough.
But their side does not permit it. Or
Another attempt,
slowly-
nothing doing. Once more with gusto.
Ooh, Cottontail trying again
Let's
against
go!
Shiley and
The gusto has made its appearance. Juniper Actius is currently 3rd, Bao 4th, Lena Lazar 5th, several cars in pit lane. Probably for refueling, I think.
That when you know what this means, pit stop shuffles.
Yes. Yeah, perhaps a shuffle right there. It is late in the race.
Our Indy Lights promo team.
And speaking of which, looking into the mid pack, let's see what is gonna be something to look out for. The Mid Phantom currently in 13th place.
There is the pit lane entry.
Oh, that's Cottontail front wing loss, and that's Shy Lily with her lost rear wing.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Look at the replay.
Alright, what happened there?
Touch grab.
No. Yeah. I fat fingered the button. Yeah.
Looks like it was
Big
Shy
moment.
Lily going wide, and unfortunately she got collected by Kiki Pyongyang once again. So it's gonna be 2 front wing loss. I expect millions of dollars of damage in this race alone, as with every race that we've seen here in the VTRP.
Yeah.
That converts into many more in ringgits.
And pesos.
The reigning IndyCar champion Lena Lazar leading, and we officially have a DNF for Shy Lily.
Oh no!
Oh, dearie me.
After an amazing run on no less, that's considered to be a national tragedy of sort. But well, every day is a national tragedy when either Hori 1010 doesn't win or any other stuff like that. But we still have to go ahead as usual. Lena Lazar currently in control of this race so far. But will we see challenge from anyone else? Kawasaki Sui might try to give it a shot.
What happened to God?
13.
Pit stop?
13.
Yeah, probably pit stop.
Yeah. And now Lena Lazar and Kawasaki Sui are coming in for their stops.
I suddenly had a funny idea about her.
Yeah?
Give her Kawasaki engines.
Huh. Actually, she's driving a Honda engine.
Or
VTech.
just sponsorship.
VTech.
Yeah, for literally every Eastern Indy.
2 laps to go. It's Akama Nimune with the lead, followed by Mint Phantom.
Wow,
So
what a
we're
comeback
back
that
into
was
the-
from the Mint.
So we're back in like the early laps.
And speaking of which, Mint, I believe, has already made a pit stop.
Let's try to find an opportunity to push close to Numi. Distant 3rd is
Quite a gamble here.
Juniper Actis, 4th Fangu, 5th is Bao.
the 52 Hertz whale.
A long way to go, Joe.
Gliding
Not
along.
long to go. As you can see
Looking
here,
for opening.
speaking which, we
Oh,
are
Army with a
more refinement.
DNF.
So
And
that
I
is
think
a
10-2.
massive shame so far. Anywho, we still have one more lap to deal with Akuma Domine currently still in this lead.
Oh yes, Guchan Silvervale also out. But
also,
go ahead.
Big oof for Silvervale from pole to DNF.
White flag waved. Numi leads. And
speaking
Mint
which,
goes
we
to
do
pit
want to
lane
talk about Mint. No, she's in the pit. She
for
hasn't.
refueling.
Well, that happens for you. So right now, Juniper Actius is currently running in second, and Fangu in third, Bao fourth.
Bow
Soon
third, bow fourth. Just a bit of back and forth. Bow.
Ooh, from one seat reacher to another. Bao is also surviving this. You need to be in it to win it, and that's what she's doing right now. Kind of. I applaud that effort.
By a handful of names retiring before the checkered flag is waved. Coming down to the last few turns here.
Don't want to make it a bit too quiet. Akuma Domine, I would say that she's had a very, very comfortable race so far. I'd say that she deserved this win. Again, in it to win it, and she was in it.
And Denton slips in the background.
Meanwhile, it's time to celebrate a race win. Akuma Nimine will be kissing the bricks here in Indianapolis as she takes the Indy Grand Prix here in 2025. Congratulations to Akuma Nimune.
P1 for number 1.
From a front row start to a win, and that is her third IndyCar win. Congratulations to Numi. I think that's I want to say all on road courses, maybe an oval win. I know she won a street race in Vancouver, I think, as drivers start to run out of fuel. But Akuma Nimune wins the Indy Grand Prix. Juniper Actius will finish second, and Bao will round up the podium.
This is a big day for Team Bikini Bottom.
Anyways, speaking of which, we are just going.
Numi and Bao on the podium together is very big.
Well, that's a good day for anyone living under the sea. Anyways, Akuma Domine, Juniper Actius, and Bao round up the podium. Fangu 4th, Captain Hana 5th, Limo 6th, Umi Kyoku 7th, Cottontail VA, Lane Nalazar, and Kawasaki Sui make it to the top 10. And what a comeback from Yanya Banyanya from last on the grid, now in 11th, alongside Nina Anamano and Min Phantom, who were starting at the back. Anyways, 14th on back, it will be Watagashi Uno 14, Unagi 15, 10, 10, 16, Dokibur 17, Monroe 18, Bushigure Ui being the last of the running cars. Ami Aranya, Kikipiapian, Shai the list, good chance of Hinabobina, Yastoiki are among the DNFers, among others. And speaking of which, the last 4 drivers that didn't finish this race is going to be Chibidoki, Nurosama, Rin Penrose, and Grape.
Typing down the rest of the names. Typing down the rest of the names, and then we'll lock in the points and see how it is. Just waiting for files to load, and gotta make sure I see all 30 names in place. Missing 2 names. I know Chibidoki crashed out. That's of course 1 point for her. And who else was in the race besides Silvervale? 24th. That's 2 points. And that's correctly 5 DNQ. DQs and 30 names in. Oh yeah, Silvervale was pole, so that's 3 points for her instead of 2. As we have a look at the Road and Street classification first, Limu, another strong performance for her with her 6th place finish, currently leading the classification with 130 points. Second is Pochi with 106, Doki Bird 96, Numi 79, Nene Amano and Kawasaki Sui both on 62. But Nene holds the tiebreaker.
Oh, speaking of which, we do want to check on the standings so far as to what happened to. I'm not sure what happened to Nimi, but I think Nimi is still here. Of sorts, if you look at here, her DNQ has essentially sent her from the lead to 12th. That just shows you how competitive this IndyCar grid is.
Yeah, I don't think Nimi was in the tops among the top 10 drivers, but it was Limu coming into today with the overall points lead, and she still is in the overall points lead. 188 points, and get this, the next driver down, 70 points down. Olivia Monroe.
So,
go ahead.
all right, so back onto the championship standings here. Remember, these are only the points for the regular races, but I just want to point out one thing. In the Indy 500, we're going to be having more on the line as essentially the cars that will be racing here will be extended to 40, and get this, 120 points for the winner. So anyone who is about 120 points back, you could see drivers as far as Snuffy and Amiya Aranya take wins and take the championship lead. Or they could turn the season around for those who are currently way down the standings, like Elias Stellaria, who are racing as maybe racing as a guest, but Chibi Doki as well, looking to turn her fortunes around after being in the back end of this IndyCar field. She's currently 47th with only 1 point.
1 point! Also, Holster for the 500 will have 5 bonus points, driver starting second, 2 points, driver starting third, 1 point. The bonus points for the driver starting in the top 3. Okay.
So anyways, so we are just going to go for a slight break before we get ourselves ready for the greatest spectacle in Indy VTuber racing. So, Dak.
Yes, we are going to take a break for a few minutes. When we come back, it's the 2025 Indy 500. Who will win the VTRP's biggest race of the year? Find out in a few minutes. We'll see you then.
Take care, everyone, and we'll see you in the big show.
Okay. Alright, we are set to go. Chrono, Hadak, you two ready?
Well,
Yeah, you kinda jump scared me.
Sorry about that. Yeah, so, I'll assume everyone is ready to go. Let's get into
by the
the
way,
game
I'm
screen.
right here, and I'm just pumped. So, Dak, do you have the track previews ready? Just wanted to have everyone get ready and get acquainted with the big Indy in the big Indianapolis circuit. So, that being said, let's get the previews underway.
Yes. All right. So we're gonna be racing 50 laps. 50 laps. No time limit. 50 laps. No time limit. Just winner tops. Winner tops. Yeah. And we have the whole entire Indy 500 field in. So 17, 26, 26, 35, 40, all in. Oh my goodness. Okay, so 40 drivers, 50 laps. Chrono, I can barely hear you.
So no qualifying for this, right? Just qualifying for start position.
Yeah, I can barely hear you still.
Okay.
Right, so looks like we can just need to increase your volume, Chrono.
I don't know. My thing is max.
Yeah, we'll see how what. Yeah, we can hear you now.
Yeah, I have to do with my jacket.
Anyway,
Dak, let's hit this preview. Can't wait to see what it looks like on the Indianapolis Motor Speedway's actual oval.
And here it is. 2.5 mile oval. 4.023 kilometer, 4 turn. Go ahead, Chrono. I mean, Adak.
Anyways, as you come here into the first corner, all of them are around, I believe, 10 to 13 degrees of banking. The straight lines are only around, 3 to 5 degrees of banking. All of these corners are flat out in a qualifying run with fresh tires and less weight. But when you have cars, when you follow the other cars, 1, 2, when your tires are worn, and 3, when you also have run with a pretty heavy load of fuel, then it's about to be less straightforward, and it's all about setting up your car to absolutely make use of every single part in the oval to perfection. So it's all about setting up your car to perfection and having the best car in certain phases.
Every VTuber for themselves.
It's all or nothing. You can go almost 245 miles per hour on this oval. Yeah, well over 240 miles per hour. Yeah, we're gonna enjoy a nice 40 minutes of action here, 35 to 40 minutes of action as we complete the track preview here. We are gonna set the grid. We're gonna set the grid for this race, and we're gonna introduce the starting lineups, the qualifying grid, backwards, 40th to pole.
Alright, so let's hit the load button and see how the grid lines up from here. So it will be, hang on.
Okay, what happened?
Yeah,
never mind. I noticed a bit of an urgent thing to do, but right now we're back onto it. So let's take the look into the grid and let's hit load.
Load.
Righto.
Back home again in Indiana. We are going to set the grid bottom to top. Pole student gets 5 points, second 2 points, and third 1 point. Those are the bonus points. But we are set to go here. 40 cars in the field. Indianapolis Motor Speedway. the super speedway kits with their special Indianapolis Firestone tires. Let's set the grid, see who will get pole, see where they'll start in qualifying.
All
Grid
right.
us.
So, all right, let's hit the finish button, and from the last place, let's
What do
introduce
we
the
have?
grid. We're gonna do it. We're gonna have we're gonna say the best for last. So we're gonna go for it from the reverse order. So Shigure Ui will start last with Sku-chan, currently 39th. So basically, how it works that we line up 3 cars in a row. So that means Shigure Ui will be the sole car on row 14. Row 13 will be Sku-chan, Yasutoiki, and Snuffy from right to left. And then Akuma Numine, Chibidoki, and Cottontail VA. Sorry, Lily, Rin Pedros, and Kawasaki Sui. That will be everyone outside of row 10.
I'll go next.
And then from row 10 onwards, it will be
Chrono will go next. Chrono will go next.
All right, Chrono.
No, after this one, I mean. After this page. After 29.
Okay.
And all right, so Lucy Paya and Gianriku will line up alongside the driver in 28th. Chrono.
All right, next page, please. Then we have Koki, Captain Ana, and Amiya Aranya, 2-time 500 winner. Then
Reigning 500 winner,
Umi,
2-time series winner. 2-time series winner, and yeah.
Umi, our Indy Lights promotee, and Juniper Actias. Then Uno Watagashi, Nyuro-sama, Bao, Nyana Banana, Manyana, Horei Tenten, Doki, and Nene. All right, who's next?
Doki and
Gotta take
Nene, and then
No, I mean.
and then 15
next
to
page?
11. Okay, we'll do. Well, I'll do 15 to 11. We have Lena, and then Laimu, and then Aaliyah with a very strong start. We'll start off 13th, and then we have Meat and Catania. And then we will introduce the top 10 one by one. Right, starting off in 10th, we have Hina Bobina. All right, Adak, who will start off 9th?
And then we go to Vienna. Well, good night, Vienna. Already good morning, Vienna. And she will start with 48-42. 8th place, Chrono.
Right, and this will be Ida Pochi, who's coming off fresh a win in Barber.
And then I will introduce 7th, which is Nina Saltome. Nina, another respectable time, 40.743 in qualifying. Adak.
So we're now coming into the business end of the grid. Kiki Pion has qualified with a 40.698. A great lap here, as she's essentially the last driver to be within a 10th of a second behind the pole sitter, Chrono.
And we're going deeper. Mini Nightmare. 0.56 away from the pole position.
Starting off in 4th on the inside line, row 2, we have Sorrowway.
Who is trying to make up for her absence in Indy GP.
Adak.
All right, so onto the front row of the grid, we have Fallen Shadow, not so fallen right now, as she's only around 4/100th of a second behind the pole sitter. Saraway actually tied with actually having her lifetimes tied with Saraway, which is an interesting feat. Chrono, who starts in second?
And our bridesmaid for this race is Olivia Monroe. 0.006
Whoa! What a
off
gap.
the pole.
So Fallen Shadow will get 1 bonus point, Olivia Monroe 2 bonus points, and Pole Sitter will get 5 bonus points. And the Pole Sitter for the 2025 Indy 500 is Mint Phantom! Mint Phantom is pole.
Well, that is an interesting sight as we're about to start the greatest spectacle
to bride.
Anywho, we will get into the greatest spectacle in VTuber racing, or rather Indy VTuber racing. Anywho, but we still have one more thing to point out. we do have some pre-race ceremonies. If we do have pre-race ceremonies, I hope we do have it, because we got a 40-car race to essentially decide who will be winning the biggest trophy in Indy VTuber racing, other than the championship.
Get hype. 40 cars on the field. Everyone gridded up, lined up, ready to go here for 50 exciting laps. Adek and Chrono, you two ready to go?
We are always ready
Rock.
for what will be one of VTRP's crown jewel races. The Aero have essentially done theirs with their fast races. It's now the VTRP's turn to shine here in the great Indianapolis Motor Speedway to essentially kick off what is going to be one of VTRP's biggest races of the year. And I absolutely can't wait for this race to start.
Yes, let us go ahead and hit the race button. We'll play the music and get to the action.
But as we're about to get into the formation line, I do want to highlight one more thing here. How many times has the Pulsator managed to hang on to this win in the Indy 500?
I don't know, I haven't...
Like about thrice, maybe?
There's a bit of a choppy video. We have encoding overload. Hold on, we have encoding overload. Hold on, hold on. We need to pause. We have encoding overload at my end. Yeah, we need to halt for a bit. Encoding overload. I will have to restart OBS. I'll have to restart OBS and, yeah. And, yeah.
Streamer overload.
Yeah, not sure what's going on here. May have to restart OBS. No, it's, holding up fine. It's holding up fine. Yeah, one moment. Yeah, we may have to restart
the base card?
OBS or no. Let's try get to the race. Let's try that again.
All right. So as we're waiting for everything to everything.
No, it's encoding overloaded. It's still encoding overloaded. It's still encoding overloaded. Of course, the biggest stream of a year, and there's Scuff. There's Scuff. Yeah. One moment. We're gonna restart the stream and then we'll get to yeah, we'll get into the
not just all IVN.
Yeah. And then wait for something to load. Okay. All right.
All right, we're ready.
Yes, let's see how it is. And coding overloaded again. Are you kidding me? Yeah. So no. Yeah, encoding overloaded still. Maybe I have too many tabs up. Oh yeah, I need to take out the text.
Is everything okay now?
Going smoothly on my end. So I think.
It's still encoding overloaded. It's still encoding overloaded. No, it looks clear. It goes into encoding overloaded and not. But we're gonna see how it is. Mint Phantom, your lead driver, as a safety car comes in. 2025 Indy 500 is green.
cat trouble. Anyway, 500 is a go, 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 and Monroe onto the lead.
And also, looking at how the inside line hasn't been working for Min Phantom, she hasn't had a good exit off of turns 1 and 2. Nimi is already up into second place of sorts, and now the outside line might think of something against Nimi. Nimi is gonna try to force her way into second place, and already almost has found an opening. Nimi Nightmare has already made her way to the lead.
Oh man, Nimi, far ahead. Sorry if
lap 2.
Sorry if things are looking choppy here. Just trying to get this race down.
Fallen Shadow in second place and someone in the pit, and I think that was placeholder.
Yeah, just a placeholder.
Pay no mind.
Also, just wanted to look into the rest of the field here. Sarway has now gone up into second, and it looks to me that Min Phantom has fallen down into the field. Looks like she is already down in what looks to be 7th place, but it looks to me that Min Phantom is already working with some other cars for Slipstream, as this is a big 2.5 mile track. If you can work with anyone for Slipstream purposes, then you are going to be a big winner here, and maybe you can work with them in tandem until the final lap, where it's now going to be who is going to chicken out first.
Someone lost a wing. Someone lost a front wing. Someone lost a front wing.
It's pretty much the whole plot of Game of Thrones.
Oh no,
Kiki.
Kiki.
Front wing.
Yep, Kiki Pyongyang has become the first casualty of the Indy 500. There goes her chances of winning unless something big happens. Nimi, meanwhile, is gonna hang on to the lead, but not before Meat! Ooh, yummy!
Yeah, Meat is
doesn't consume much of.
out for flesh. Hochi, long-time IndyCar member, trying to approach Meat there. And goes past! Up to the front she goes.
Just a question, Dag. Is Hochi one of the originals?
Yeah!
From the first season?
Yeah, from the first season.
Very, very interesting site to look into. Speaking of which, back on into the racing scene, we are noticing Ida Pochi now in the race lead. If you remember her, she won in Barber last time out, and now Nimi, meanwhile, is gonna be out for blood once again. She is gonna try to make this into her dream, as he will now sap all of the others for now. Nimi, after not qualifying in the Indy Grand Prix, and now is gonna have a massive comeback. What a story this will be if Nimi can win here.
Elias Delaria, who won the Talent Freedom 100, finds her way to second at the moment.
How did she went from essentially up in from the top 10 to here after going in the Indy Lights race and now challenging the big girls to what is essentially the biggest prize in Indy VTuber racing, and Alice Delara is gonna have at it.
Would it be possible?
Oh man, look at her go!
Winning the 500.
And what a fairy tale it will be if Alice Delara can hang on to what is currently a very obtainable race lead. And right now, Nonstop Nimi Nightmare from the chat, indeed. But will it stay that way? Because Alice Delaria has now moved up into the lead. Ida Pochi has now moved Nimi Nightmare into third. And speaking of which, and that's a great run from Ida Pochi!
Pochi Mama!
Affiliated X-Polo against an Indy Lights driver.
Well, that's a bit of a stretch, Chrono, but we'll talk about that later. Anywho, Ida Pochi is now already moved her way into the race lead. Speaking of other battles here, oh, someone's going to go into pits.
Who is that in pit lane? That's Nina.
That's how told me.
Oh, Nina. Without a front wing. Nina started off in 7th and will have to drop down to 39th at the moment. Elias Stellaria in the lead, Talent Freedom 100 winner, being pursued against an IndyCar veteran and Hollow Mama in Pochi.
And Nimi, meanwhile, is currently hot on the heels against both of them. Now trying to find the slipstream, and if she does find a slipstream, she can save on fuel and tires, although in the corners that will essentially mean that she'll have to work a bit harder. Meanwhile, Min Phantom trying to find a way into the top spots here. Now makes her move down the inside against Koki for 4th.
Very nice
He's
move.
basically up against behemoths here. Mochi, Nimi, now Min.
Pochi on the inside.
One of those is taking the lead away from her. That will be Pochi.
And everyone else either going single file, double file. No drivers are gonna go dare make a 3 wide move. Min Phantom meanwhile going spooky onto everyone, trying to find the perfect anti-ghost busting equipment in her. But she is currently without support as Ella Stellaria and Nimi Nightmare work together to stay around the outside. But now before Min Phantom uses a favorable inside line to make her move into turns 1 and 2. But will she hang on with Ella Stellaria having a great run around the outside? Talk about a rookie making a big upset here from Ella Stellaria, who despite facing off against more experienced members, she's absolutely challenging it as she now goes back into the lead.
Oh man, what a performance it is as another driver drops a front wing. As we keep an eye on the field as it stands. Everyone is still out.
So far.
Nimi right behind Aaliyah.
One Goliath was challenging enough.
Nimi around the outside for the race lead, and it looks to me that experience is gonna trump out the rookie spirits. And right now, Nimi is still considered a rookie, all things considered. If I'm not mistaken, this is her first Indy 500 as well. Ella Stellaria, meanwhile, also on her first Indy 500. Ida Pochi, meanwhile, oh, great run from turn 4.
As we start lap 11. Battle of the Mystic themed vTubers, that being Nimi and Pochi. Now other teams are joining the fray with Fallen Shadow.
Yana Banyana. Average going to pit lane, just struggling here. Oh, Shy Lily lost a rear wing. Oh, that is bad news for Lily. Got whomped right there.
Yeah, that was not the race that she was looking for. After having a decent running in the Indy Grand Prix. Speaking of which, Nimi Nightmare is going to go at it against Ida Pochi once again, as Nimi Nightmare is going to go down the inside, almost making contact between the two.
Battle of the Mystic VTubers again.
Bucky and Shy Lily having to enter.
With front wings gone. Well, we haven't checked on that, but for now, we're going to go into the chase cam of Scoochan, see where she is at the moment. Meanwhile, Koki is going to be chasing on Nimi. Koki has been a dark horse pick for us because you can see her already making a challenge against Nimi right now. The purple and green machine overtaking the green and white machine for the race lead as the race is about to go into the first quarter.
Connection
that
seems...
coloring reminds me of Char candies.
Interesting. Anyway, still hints of encoding overloaded on OBS, but things seem to be holding up still.
Speaking of which, looking into Ella Stellaria.
Together.
And speaking of which, Ella Stellaria doing a very good job to stay where she is inside the top 5 right now, but not before she gets to be under pressure. Meanwhile, Nimi Nightmare gets the race lead back away from Koki, so it's basically a game of musical chairs between the top 5 drivers currently. We will see on whether or not we'll be seeing any pit stops coming under regular circumstances, as that might throw a spanner in the works.
You mean the Game of Thrones?
Somewhat, I mean.
Fallen Shadow takes the lead away from Nimi.
Two longtime friends, Chondo and Nimi.
Poki takes a second away from Nimi Nightmare.
Numi and Elia.
Leah dropping
back into the picture.
Leah dropping to 6, but there's still plenty more laps to go. We're only through 15 and a half. Cookie.
I mean, top 10 for a Freedom 100 winner? That's huge enough.
I mean, sure, when you're talking about racing in the second tier of Indy VTuber racing, getting a top 10 is already a big achievement. If you're especially a VTuber who is at around 1,000 plus or 10,000 plus subscribers, you're essentially racing with the big girls here in the IndieCar, where subscriber counts often exceed 100,000. And speaking of which, we get to see Ida Pochi now chasing Kokui, who have had a surprising run in the lead right now. But right now, Ida Pochi is going to cause some trouble, and it's going to be more musical chairs. This time, Ida Pochi takes the lead.
And we tried to find the inside to Cookie.
As I was saying earlier, if you thought one Goliath is challenging enough to fight, try 39.
Oh! Numi, who won the Indy GP, finds herself third as Cookie slows down a bit.
So we are just going to check on the rest of the field. Shigeru Ui, meanwhile, is currently pretty up there, now making her comeback from the back of the field, from not qualifying for Indy 500 on merit to replacing Annie in the Indy 500 field, to now currently being in the mid-pack. What are the odds Shigeru Ui will be in the front of the field in the final 10 laps and essentially stealing it all?
I'd say 5 out of 10.
Anything can happen. And speaking of attrition, Dag, let's look into the past history of crashes in the Indy 500. Has that happened before? And if yes, how big were the crashes?
Well, some crashes, I can't seem to recall really big ones. There have been some race retirements, I'm sure. Yeah.
Which means
Everyone seems to be driving relatively clean.
Which means one thing, low levels of attrition means everyone was still going to be running. And speaking of which, Umikyoku comes into the pits. Lots of drivers already having rear wing woes as Akuma Numine now takes the lead once again. It's going to be 3 wide!
Oh, man. What a move we're seeing here. All in shadow
I
up
realized
front.
it would have been a plane crash.
Honda.
Speaking of which, if you're looking to consistency in the front of the field, look no further than Nimi Nightmare, who has been staying inside the top 5 for almost the entire race now. Ida Pochi, I believe, has fallen down just a bit, I believe, but is also been very consistent so far. And looking into the other drivers who have been consistently inside the top 5, I really can't tell. But right now, Ida Pochi and Nimi Nightmare are showing amazing pace right now. And speaking of pace, we are now seeing 2 packs of cars right now.
Here's last year's champion, Amiya Aranya. Just getting along in 18th, struggling though. Ooh, Mintu is currently mid-pack after that strong start.
Knows? Right now, it's all maybe an issue about conserving your fuel and tires to try to be as light as possible. And Shigeru Iwai comes into the pits.
Just now getting out.
Was this an issue of essentially it's just a pit stop cycle or loss of front wing?
Probably a loss of a part. Probably loss of front wing.
Speaking of which, Ella Stellaria.
Chondo onto the lead.
Ooh, yeah, Fallen Shadow already making her move against Ella Stellaria. Koki 3rd, Lena Lazar 4th. Nimi falling back out of the top 5 momentarily. Oh, a bit of a nuts there from Nimi Nightmare. That was pretty cheeky. Lena Lazar actually having a pole run off of turn 2. That's going to cause some trouble to the other cars.
And Numi walks on by.
The reigning Indy. Go ahead.
Takes advantage of the kerfuffle as Nimi pats Lena.
The reigning IndyCar Series champion from November and last year's Indy 500 runner-up, doing pretty well here in 7th.
Right now, we do want to point out on a few more things to look into. Brand of Fallen Shadow are in a 3-car pack right now with Ida Pochi and Ella Stellaria, and there's a secondary pack chasing the lead pack, which consists of Koki, Nimi Nightmare, Akuma Numine, and Lena Lazar. Speaking of which, we are seeing some cooperation between these two packs, like a peloton in cycling.
Yeah.
And if you do want to know what a peloton is, essentially the lead member essentially takes the brunt of having to deal with air resistance, and then the lead pack and then the lead entity essentially creates a slipstream for the rest of the field to follow in that pocket of air. Oh, speaking of which, Koki moves on the outside of Ella Stellaria to take 3rd place, if I'm not mistaken. So back to the peloton. So from that slipstream, there will be less air resistance, so you can save fuel and tires. So it's gonna be a case of trading places in those moments to see. And for me, I would suggest don't need to stay on the lead for too long. Otherwise, you'll be overworking the car. The optimal strategy here in this race is to stay behind on the slipstream for as long as you can, and on those last opportune moments, you strike. You make a move around the inside, try to get a good exit, and try to cause them trouble. Ideally, in the final lap, you might want to do it at around turns 1 or 2, but for safe reasons, you might want to do it at turns 3 and 4. But also, gotta learn how to break the toe.
Oh, someone's parts got sheared off, I think. Oh, that's Pochi! Was running well, and we'll have to drop into pit lane. We're well over halfway through. 26 down, 24 to go. Fallen Shadow leading. Followed by Numi and then Cookie.
And in contact for good measure, though, she essentially shoved Cookie off. But I would say, though, I would give a lot of hats off to Ella Stellaria. Once again, staying competitive throughout the race. I would say, when was the last time a TF100 entrant who got transferred into the Indy 500 managed to essentially be this competitive? I have no clue, as Nimi goes up into 3rd.
Actually, Tomoe Umari, who's currently in Purple Car, originally, won the TF100 last year, originally just missed out on qualifying for the 500, but got in due to an IndieCar member having to transfer to Idol Corp. I believe that was Chikafuji Lisa. So,
yep, I remember that.
So Tomoe got in, and she finished 3rd in that race in the 500.
And we're seeing history repeat itself of Ella Stellaria, but let's see how far Ella Stellaria can go with this one. Will she do a repeat of Tomoe Umari from last year? That is something that we'll have to pay attention, though. I will also commend the amount of clean racing that we're seeing. Oh, and that is Lena Lazar bumping Akuma Numine, caused her to lose the rear just a bit at the exit of turn 2, and gets her a position. Again, this is what I like to mention. I like to commend the fact that we get to see clean racing in Indianapolis with 40 cars in R Factor 1. I would be amazed here as Nimi Nightmare currently has the lead. Lena Lazar is going to try to make things her way, as we are now coming into 21 laps to go.
Has the inside, takes the lead. The New Zealander goes up, out for blood.
Well, in the world of sheep, you're gonna be having those lives on the slaughter, and right now she is slaughtering everyone around her as Lena Lazar continues to essentially decimate her way into the lead pack. But you can see Lena Lazar kind of had to check up there, and now Nimi Nami is gonna make it 3 wide, tries to make her way to 2nd. Fallen Shadow will now lead this lap.
Too close,
30.
friend, fighting for the pole.
30 down, 20 to go.
Shondo against Nimi. Nimi down the inside. Nimi into the pole.
In the lead at the moment, not exactly the pole position that she had been looking for. Jericho now comes into the pits to get her car serviced due to some front wing damage, if I'm not mistaken. Nimi Nightmare, meanwhile, is currently is in control of this race, and looking at the gap between Fallen Shadow, Shondo, who is currently running in second place, only 3/10 behind. It all can change here as they're now about to cross the line, and it will still be Nimi Nightmare leading consecutive laps, but not before Fallen Shadow fights back.
Inside line yet again.
Doobie out of nowhere in second.
Another
Watch
exit.
out, watch out, watch out. Anyways, we got to see Doobie, the good Doobie Doo, B, getting her way into the race lead. And there she goes, and making a move from into turn 3 and turn 4. Where did Doobie start anyway?
Doobie started off
Like
25th.
What something?
25th.
Yeah.
Improved
And talk
24
about,
slots to take the lead.
And she only needed to take like over 30 laps to make a massive climb from where she started. That is another thing to pay attention to, because that was a commendable effort. But again, if you want to talk about consistency, Nimi Nightmare has you covered. But right now, Nimi just needs to unlock that pace in the final 18 laps of this race if she wants to bring home the greatest prize in Indy VTuber racing. And speaking of questions, what will be Nimi Nightmare's preferred milk?
Good
milk.
question.
Soy milk or almond milk?
Soy milk, almond milk, good choices.
Yeah.
Just don't do orange juice.
Yeah,
Just don't do orange juice.
don't do orange juice. We saw how it is over 30 years ago. The crowd didn't like it.
And speaking of which, right now, I
Lordy.
think Nimi would, I don't know, maybe go for full cream. I feel like full cream is a good option for Nimi, given that she's got lots of. Never mind.
But seriously, I don't think she does milk. Shondo is battling with Doobie. Two petite VTubers, petite model that is.
Oh, speaking of which, looking at Nimi, who is now fighting against Doobie, I feel like we have seen them battle before, and I'll tell you what, right now, these two kind of harken me back to back in, I don't know, one of my other series that I hosted. One being absolutely dominant, and the other just scraping by to get results here and there. Wins coming in pretty sparingly, but will it be Doobie? Oh, here comes the pit stop shuffle.
Yes, a whole bunch of cars are coming in already. What we've come to
And
expect
this
here,
is-
late in the race. I think
And
Doobie,
right now,
Doobie will come in
right now,
next
here's
time.
and maybe that will be the case. Speaking of which, I remember that one
think
race
that's
where we got.
Helped Doobie propel. That's what helped Doobie propel herself into the contention.
Yes, I remember back in Fuji, back in 2024, it was a car that had the straight line speed versus a car that was very good in the corners. It was a car with straight line speed that won the race in Fuji back in March 2024, as everyone else essentially moved themselves into the pits. And speaking of which, we will also take a look into how these drivers essentially get their pit stops done, and let's see if the undercut strategy works for Nimi and Co.
Drivers pushing and shoving per position, trying not to lose parts in the process. Rin Penrose in the lead. Has she pitted?
And speaking of which, Nyanya Banyanya is also making a way in a 3 wide against Penrose, and Monroe, and almost got spun round when Penrose and got hit by Ida Pochi.
Last few drivers are pitting.
Takashi Uno also being joined by Shiguri Ui, and I believe that's Pyre.
Lucy?
Has Hinabobina gone to pit?
I don't think she has went on to the pits just yet. I'm pretty sure that she will make her move down pit road after this, as she will now... Oh, staying out for now. This is going to be interesting. She might want to go for a fuel mileage run.
Are there compounds in
Bobina.
IndyCar? There aren't, right?
I really can't tell, but right now it's still Ren Penrose with the lead. Hina Bobina running in second, and if you look
Hina
at
Bobina
where
lead.
the rest of the field, I want to know where Nimi is compared to the rest of the field. And right now she is currently, oh dear,
Oh
down in
no.
37th. What has happened to Nimi?
Probably a bad pit stop.
Very, very cruel way
Someone's
to have you
lacking
the
nap.
win. Taking away from you, having that taken away from you. This is very, very cruel, all things considered. Hina Bobina currently has this under control right now, but will she finally come to make a pit stop? I'm not sure if the fuel tank is gonna hold up until the end of this race. Have we ever seen a no-stop run in the Indy 500?
Well, technically, most if not all races in VTuber IndyCar and VTRP are no stop races. The only stops being if I'm having connection issues. Oh man, Hina Bobina with a massive lead, 4.5 seconds, only trying to close the gap somehow, but it's very late in the race. Will soon come down to 10 next time by.
Well,
anticlimactic.
pulling a lightning McQueen move, but I will assure to you that while tire wear is going to be an issue, we won't be seeing tires spectacularly explode, and essentially we are not going to be seeing Hina Bobina limping her way across the finish line to just defend the win. And speaking of which, we still have 10 laps to go, 20% of the race remaining, and right now we are checking at Ella Solaria, who is now down in 11th place. Let's see who surprises so far currently.
Up to 10th and possibly 9th against Shondo.
Look at Aaliyah go, pushing
And
past a few drivers here.
As you can see here, Ella Stellaria now moving her way into the top 10. Now trying to find a way past Lionel Lazar and Akuma Numine.
Hina Bobina trying to hang on to her commanding lead here.
80% of the race.
Niana Banyana second, past Oli.
Ooh. Speaking of which, Nyanya Banyana still in somewhat decent control. Gyariku staying where he is. So right now we are seeing some big movements here after the pit stop shuffles. Ella Stellaria meanwhile surprises everyone by having an amazing run after qualifying through the Indy 500 to the TF 100 race. This is gonna be a story to behold. Speaking of which, Monroe and the banana. Monroe has the banana covered.
She doesn't slip in the banana field this time.
I hope she enjoys banana splits. But anyway, Shiley now going down the inside of Hina Bobina. I'm not sure if this is a move for position or never mind. Looking into actually Hina Bobina and Ollie. I just wanted to point out Olivia Monroe.
Now
This is gonna be juicy.
Now we gotta fight. Who is gonna win this fight?
Monroe down the inside against Hina Bobina, who's struggling for tires as she's gonna go for a no-stop strategy. Trying to go for a field mileage run, but her tires have essentially cried. Did they want to give up? They want to rest. And right now, Monroe has this race under control.
Going over 240 miles per hour. Go ahead, Chrono.
For however much he can.
Umi
Under pressure
Kyoku.
from both Umi and
Oh yeah, Umi Kyoku has already made, I'm not sure if Umi Kyoku, oh yeah, she is currently in second, but Hina Bobina might actually get back into it, despite having pretty worn tires, but here comes the banana!
That sounds so wrong out of context.
A bit of
And
3 wide.
In second.
And speaking of which, the banana now trusting her way into third place, man. Now Hina Bobina is gonna try to make her way against Olivia Monroe. I don't know if Hina Bobina has made a pit stop or not, but Hina Bobina is gonna try to make history if she can survive in the 5 remaining laps of the Indy 500.
Leia Stellaria to 4th. What moves will she make here? Oh!
And these are the moves. Oh, contact between Nina and Banana, but both cars are still running. Ella Solar is going to try to make a move down the inside against Olivia Monroe. Monroe's also catching up to Hina Bobina. They might work together as we got to see a titanic battle for the lead. Will Elias Delaria be the first VTuber, first Indy VTuber from the Indy Light Series to win an IndyCar Series directly through qualification from the Talent Freedom races? We'll have to wait and see as Delaria takes 2nd place.
Only with a big lead, but there's still 4 laps to go. 10 miles of racing left for the 40 drivers still in it. Hooky on the move in 3rd. Very close behind Aaliyah. Here comes Sarway and Lena Lazar. 3 wide.
Chasing. 3 wide, no contact so far. Lena Lazar is gonna make Stellaria's life a bit easier. But now Stellaria is gonna be 3 wide action. You saw it in the battle for 2nd. Ella Stellaria is gonna see if she can use the slipstream from Lena Lazar to catch back up into Monroe.
Lena Lazar
at this point. It's a dice roll out there at this point.
Man, you have to see if we might end up with a photo finish. Lena Lazar now going down the inside against Olivia Monroe, but there's a shark waiting in the wings, and that is Elias Stellaria. Elias Stellaria is going to use that opportunity, and Lena Lazar as a towing equipment for her to get herself into 2nd place. But let's see, coming to the final 2 laps, how will this great spectacle of Indy VTuber racing end? Will which one of these 5 drivers will have the chance to be etched into Indy VTuber racing history?
Elias Stellaria!
Black car in the black.
Goes up in front!
But will she hang on? Because right now, Lena Lazar and Saraway have very fast cars. They might sneak in the move right at the end. Now it's all about Elias Stellaria having her car in defensive mode. She's going to need the widest car available. And this final 2.5 miles, let's see how it goes here coming into the white flag.
1 to go, white flag here.
She will need to go full Minister of Defense here.
And she's trying.
Saraway's not giving up the white flag
Saraway
despite her nationality.
Has the upper hand here. Last chance for Elias Stellaria, mid-phantom to make a move.
And right now, it's all about using the slipstream. Saraway is all alone. Mid-phantom makes her move into 2nd. Mid-phantom might actually steal it all.
Last chance for Mid to make a move. It's gonna be close. Coming down to the finish. And the 2025 Indy 500 winner is Saraway.
What a race. And you have to understand the feeling of winning this prestigious race. Saraway had to fight tooth and nail from the mid-pack to get herself up there, and now she has her name etched into the, well, I'm not sure who is the equivalent to Borg Warner, but we will have her name etched into the trophy as one of the legends in the Indy circuit. What a win that was from Saraway. Let's not take anything away from Min Phantom, Nimi Nightmare, and also Ella Stellaria. They have also done amazing jobs in these Indy 500s despite not being winners.
The French,
the dice didn't roll for them.
Yeah, just basically, it's basically anyone in it to win it, no matter how deep the drivers start. Where did Saraway start to fourth? Yeah, pretty good position there, and he got a dub. The French VTuber Saraway is your 2025 Indy 500 champion. Congratulations. She's gonna get a silver star. Go ahead.
She's killing the French. What's this? Stereotypes.
Well, this she's
Speaking about surrender.
Never surrendered. Got the dub. She is victorious here. And having a look here, that's her 6th IndyCar win. That's her 6th win. And what a performance
amazing
there.
stuff. Oh,
Might as well
amazing,
call her
amazing stuff
Napoleon
there.
at this rate.
Ooh, amazing stuff there from Sarway, who again have made a charge. Also, Min Phantom making her surprise appearance in the final stages of the race. Dad, you gotta be very, very satisfied with that outcome, right?
What a comeback for Mint from dead last overall in the November series to finishing runner-up in the 500. Props to Mint Phantom. What a fantastic run she had. And Aaliyah Stellaria, for the second year in a row, a Talent Freedom 100 winner finishes on the podium in 3rd. Goodness G. Willikers.
Well, with that out of the way, we're gonna ask a few questions to Sarway if we are able to interview her. What is her What is her milk preference? Because we want to send it to her as she now goes into victory lane. That's the big question.
Yeah, she'll probably like the actual milk.
Yeah, full cream whole milk, I'm sure. Lena Lazar, another strong run for her. Runner up last year, another top 5 finish for the New Zealander. Very fine run there.
Amazing stuff. Anywho, we still have the rest of the field to talk about. LS Stellaria actually replicates what Tomoe Umari did in last year's Indy 500. Qualified directly from the TF 100, finished 3rd in the Great Spectacle. And that will be a record equaling thing. Lena Lazar 4th, Inababina 5th, Koki 6th. Jericho, from not qualifying in the Indy Grand Prix, has now made it to 7th. Akamanumine 8th, Doobie 9th. Olivia Monroe from leading in the final stages to finishing in 10th. What a way to bottle that one. Laimu 11th, Vienna 12th, Fallen Shadow 13th, Watagashi Uno down to 14th, Umikyoka 15th, with Scuchan 16th. Rino Nirosama 17th, Rin Penrose 18th, Lucy Pyre 19th, and Bao 20th. Nene Amano 21st with Stuffy 22nd, Kitana 23rd with Jorge 10-10 24th, Juniper Actias 25th, Chibidoki in 26th, and then 27th on back it will be Amiya Aranya, Kawasaki Sui, Me and Cottontail VA, the last drivers who will have finished on the lead lap. Kiki Pion Pion, Ida Pochinyan, Banyanya, Shiguri Ui, Captain Hana, Nimi Nightmare, Yasatoiki, Doki Bird, Nina Sao Tome, and Shy Lily will be your front drivers a lap down. How does everyone manage to finish this Indy 500? I have no clue, but hat off to all of these drivers for keeping it clean. Very good stuff.
Yeah, still,
absolutely.
Still disappointing to see Nimi finish way down there. Just a bad.
In the end, the nightmare was hers.
Yeah, bad pit stop for her. Yeah,
someone's gonna get prepared.
Yeah, gonna go ahead and lock in the points. That's 120 big ones for Sarway. And I'm gonna find my file. Gonna find my file right there. Right there, and gotta make sure all 40 cars are in it, and they are all in it. Let's see. So Mint gets 5 bonus points. So let's see. Insert note poll. Let's see. 2 bonus points for Olivia Monroe. So 36. Insert note, start at 2nd. And Fallen Shadow, make that 29 instead of 28. Started off 3rd. And let's see how it is with the oval classification first before we get into the overall thing, as we focus on Sarway's car. Just need to. Where is it? Yoo-hoo! Where is it?
Remember, Control F is a thing you can search and you can find. Remember the life hack.
Yeah. Mint Phantom leads the oval classification with 137. Saraway with her big, fantastic win. 125. Olivia Monroe, 108. Limu, 90. Nimi Nightmare, 78.
Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you that Saraway was in the bottom, outside the top 30, start heading into this race, and she's now trusted herself into second single-handedly due to the result. Great stuff from her, and also, what a day to forget for Nimi Nightmare. She didn't even qualify for the Indy road course and finished in a lowly 30-plus position in the Indy 500. Let's hope she's able to make a comeback in the next races coming into the rest of the season. But yeah, let's just hope that we're able to see something even more from Nimi.
Indeed, yeah, pretty disappointing day for Nimi Nightmare. As we will have a look here at the top 5. Just need to see how it is with the points. Limu somehow still leads in the points.
Consistency is key.
Another pretty good finish, finishing 11th here in the 500. Currently has 220 points. And in second we have Minky, 185. Third, Olivia Monroe, 154. Fourth, Numi.
And don't forget.
Go ahead.
And also Akondumine in fourth, Saraway fifth after the winning that Indy 500 has trusted herself into fifth in the championship standings. And with that out of the way, I am going to be focusing on a few more things for the VTRP, so I am probably going to have to exit a bit early.
Yes.
So with that out of the way, I would like to thank everyone, and what an amazing race that was in the Indy 500. We'll see you in the next races in Iowa and Road America soon enough, but for now, I have to bail for extra work for the VTRP. I'll update you all when anything happens. And anyways, thanks for having me in the commentary booth. It was a fun race, a fun set of races of sort. Anyways, I'll be seeing you when we see you. Take care, everyone, and we'll see you in the next race.
Yes, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for joining us and taking on work for the VTRP. Yeah, as he leaves.
All right. Thanks again to Hadak for his...
What's the agenda for the next days?
Yes, the agenda for the next few streams. The next stream should be on Friday night, as we have a look at the schedule here. Yes, we have the continuation of IndyCar action coming up Friday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, with 3 interesting rounds. The short oval of Iowa, a really long road course at Road America, and an intermediate oval at Kansas that's coming up on Friday night the 16th. So yeah, really fun races for today. How'd you like seeing the IndyCar action, Chrono?
Thrilling. It's thrilling.
Absolutely thrilling indeed. So yeah, thanks for coming into commentary for today, and lads, thanks for showing up for really fun races for today. Congrats to Akuma Nimune for winning the Indy GP, and especially a big congratulations to Saraway for winning the 2025 Indy 500. We're gonna enjoy a nice Mother's Day. Hope you enjoy a nice Mother's Day too. And thanks again for watching. Have a great week ahead. We'll see you on Friday night for more IndyCar 16 Series action. Take care, everyone, and see you again real soon. Bye for now. Otsudag.
Otsu Corona.